All right, guys, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Galactic Gossip. And we are going to be talking about today the finale, with spoilers, obviously, kind of our reaction review to the Obi-Wan series finale that dropped on Wednesday. I'm joined by my co host, Kitty, and we're going to be getting into that just after this. All right, we're just under a half hour early, but that's fine. Got a couple of people in the chat already. Already got a comment. But I don't have any patience, so I was just like, "Hey, Kitty, you wanna get it over with? Want to just do it now?" And here we go. Yeah, yo, Joe, what's up, Mister E? How's everything? Okay, so you wanted me to start, and I will gladly go ahead. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be talking about the things that we didn't like so much with the finale slash series as a whole. Kitty, if you wanted to talk about that. And then, of course, we'll talk about the things that we did like. I'm not gonna lie, there were more things I liked about this finale episode that I hated. The series as a whole for me just didn't work as well as I wanted it to. But I thought the finale definitely brought tears to me. There were a couple of scenes that I definitely felt and and I'm glad they happened because then the whole series would have been at a total loss. But I do want to start out by saying that I'm what I'm ta- what I, the constant theme I've been hearing from other YouTubers and other people that reacted to this series, and not only that, Boba Fett and anything else that's been coming out as of late. And the one thing you hear constantly is, "Well, it's Star Wars. You gotta love it." No, you don't. It's like, what is with these Star Wars apologists? Like, okay, I get it has the name Star Wars, it has or the IP of Star Wars, and it's got a character like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader and all the other things that we love about Star Wars, especially me. Doesn't mean it's going to automatically be a hit and great, and I have to love every little bit that comes out of. We're allowed to criticize it. We're allowed to nitpick. We're allowed to be a little critical over things that, quite frankly, just were horrible. And again, that's not to say that, like I said, there were some. There were about three really good episodes in this series. 3, 5, and 6 being those three. But there were also three that we could have done without. And even in the ones that we loved or liked, whichever way you want to go, there was still stuff. There was still like bullshit wrapped up in those. You know. So look, instead of telling the story of what we thought we were going to get, and again, I don't want you guys to take that the wrong way, meaning like, well, Joe, you had like the image or the basically the series in your head, and well, it just didn't come into fruition, so that's why you didn't like it. Same thing for you, Kitty. Well, Kitty, I guess whatever you had in your head was going to happen didn't happen, so that's why you don't like it. No, the simple fact is, I thought this was going to be the easiest series for them to tackle. You had Obi-Wan Kenobi reprising his role was Ewan McGregor. Christian Haydenson come back as Anakin slash Darth Vader. How can you fuck up?
Especially, I didn't have anything going into this show.
Even more of a reason.
Yeah, what could you possibly really have going into this show? You know what I mean? So there was really no summarization in my mind of going into the show. Like, I had this preconceived notion of what I wanted, and it didn't happen, and I was let down. No,
you were let down for other reasons, yes, and valid reasons. And look, Mr. E, I agree with you. Look, the finale, I don't know if I would put it as amazing, but it's definitely close to it. It's certainly one of the best episodes. Same thing. I might like 5 a little bit better than 6, but it can go either way. But the common thread, the common theme is because of Vader. The only reason why I might like 6 a little bit more is because you had the emotional elements that Ewan McGregor brought when he was tearfully talking and pleading with Anakin, and just basically telling him he's sorry. And I loved all of that. Even look, as much as we want to say that Leia didn't really belong or shouldn't have been there for as long, which I still stand by. That end, when they're on Alderaan, he tells him about her mother and father. Tells her about her mother and father. I choked up a little bit. Yeah. It was a nice, probably unneeded, but it was a nice interaction between the two. And I don't see myself watching a possible season 2 either. I mean, I'm going to watch it. I don't want to be hypocritical. If they do have an episode 2, a season 2, I'm going to want to see it. I want to know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree. The actors could have been given better material. Ewan did amazing.
Yeah.
Ewan did amazing. Did the finale had his faults? Yes.
Yes.
It did.
I think the reason why the last episode was so good in aspects that it was good was there was just so many callbacks to things that we were such big fans of.
Yeah. I mean, and one of them, and I wasn't even a fan of the prequels, but you had the backbone and you had the blueprints of the prequels. You had those two characters coming back from that era. You have an era of which people still wanted to know what was going on. You had the opportunity, and I said this so many times, even Jawan said this so many times, because I agree with him. I'm like, bro, I'm sharing your sentiment. I've been wanting it for years. Why couldn't we see Vader constructing his lightsaber? Why couldn't we see him bleeding his kyber crystal and turning it red? We had the events, because remember, he didn't have his red lightsaber at Revenge of the Sith. He didn't get that yet. So it was all these things that I thought, and I was hoping we were going to get. But all right, even if we didn't get the construction of a lightsaber and whatever, they still could have told sort of a backstory of what Vader was going on with Vader, what he was going through, what he was been doing for the last 10 years. And then you tell Obi-Wan's kind of little backstory, get us up to speed with him, and then they clash. Not little Leia running around, fucking, running through twigs to get not being caught and being abducted 5 different fucking times. They didn't need these little things here and there.
Yes.
And the other big thing, and I'm sorry to say, because guess what? Now we know how it ends. We know the finale. It was all wrapped up. What was the point of Reva? What? To mirror Anakin? Oh, she made the choice he couldn't? So what? Like, it would have made sense, and we said this before the finale, and even more so now that we know how her arc kind of wrapped up. Why didn't you just have an Inquisitor show? Nobody would have hated her there, because no one hates her. We hated the development of the character. They developed her character like shit. They made us, and they forced us to try to care for her for a reason. And then when that reason happened, first of all, it was we saw it coming a mile away, and we knew it was going to go down like that. And then for what? Why have the other Inquisitors there? Why have the Grand Inquisitor there? Kill him off when we all knew he wasn't really dead. He couldn't be dead. And then he just magically shows up. And then another perfect example of what I had problems with is he shows up, and what do? They left her for dead. How many different times is this girl going to fucking survive stabbing?
I was trying really hard to figure out Reva's character arc in this whole show, and I was trying to tie it back to maybe to Obi-Wan, like he felt like he failed Anakin, and maybe they brought her back in to have some type of, okay, he's not going to fail Reva in a way, but they kind of just did it wrong in that aspect too. Like when he talked to her at the end was like, well, you didn't fail them. It was like a big turnaround in some way. Like she was just like, she didn't kill, Luke. She turned around, so in some way Obi-Wan impacted her, but he didn't impact Anakin. He turned to the dark side, and she didn't, so I was trying to figure out, was that the way they were trying to mirror this story? Was that her role?
Her role was the opposite of Anakin, because the whole thing was, and that's when I knew that's what they were doing, was when she was on Tatooine in the hood, when she was dressed up like that, and especially when she was chasing young Luke. I was like, well, first of all, we know Luke's not going to get killed, so I mean, whatever. And I was like, well, she's basically going to come to an epiphany that she just became what she was there to destroy, what she wanted to destroy for years. But the problem with her methods is, like, we don't know what she did for the past 10 years. Like, was she killing other Jedi? They were hunting Jedi down. She was blending in. She obviously fucking cut some woman's hand off, and we don't know which one hung up the Jedi in Tatooine. We don't know who did that. So she obviously went down a dark path. Now, again, she was able to make the choice and not kill Luke, and she realized what she became. Okay, but again, it wasn't needed. It wasn't your story. It's not your story.
Right.
Have her be an Inquisitor that defected. You know, tell her story in a different series. There was no reason, like, it's like, you know, you have.
And what I'm trying to say is I think they were trying to make this like a metaphor.
Right.
It failed miserably.
No, it failed. It failed on all levels. It did. You know, and besides the fact that they told a really bad, or they developed a character really bad, and then they tried to do the whole switch, 2 switches. You know, they tried to fucking, oh, look, guess who's still alive, Grand Inquisitor. But you had how many, like, Vader would never have spared her life. He spared her life twice.
Vader keeps sparing. I think that's my other issue with this show is he spares everybody's life that he shouldn't be spared.
Well, because it's a plot point. You know, he can't kill Obi-Wan, so he had to spare his life there.
Right.
But Reva is the only one that made sense. She needed to die, in my eyes. Now, if you want to give her a hero's ending, and Mystery, I'll get to your comments in a second. I'm sorry, bro. But if you want to give her the hero's ending and she sacrificed herself to either save Obi-Wan or Luke or even Leia, okay, fine. But she needed to die. She has too much info. She has too much info.
She still has too much info.
She knows about who Vader and Anakin is. She knows who Luke. Well, I don't know if she knows who Luke is, but she still knows Luke is there. No one's supposed to know that. No one's supposed to know that. Now, there are people that are nitpicking because she was chasing him with a lightsaber. And Luke's first time seeing a lightsaber is in A New Hope when Obi-Wan gives it to him. This was your father's. You know, it was an elegant weapon for a more civilized time or whatever it was. You can argue that, first of all, he's being chased as a kid. He's running for his life. All he sees is a fucking red glow stick. If you're given something years later, 10 years, 9 years later as an adult, and all it is a hilt, you're still going to want to know what this is. You know? I mean, he could have also turned around and like, oh, you know, I was chased once as a kid with somebody with the red one. Yeah. But that's what comes to the whole thing, what I was saying earlier. Like, there was encounters in this series that she didn't need to go see Luke on Tatooine.
No.
There was no reason to involve Luke.
Nope.
And the fact that they involved Leia for the whole series even bothered me. Because I don't care they tied it up nicely. He basically told her, you gotta, keep it to yourself.
Keep it to yourself, because that was that whole continuity thing in the beginning where we're like, wait a minute.
But keeping it to yourself and literally referencing him in a hologram as if you don't fucking know who he is at all. Like, but hold on really quick. Let me get caught up. The actress for Leia was the heart of the show. James Earl Jones, voice generator. The voice for Vader was awesome.
Oh yeah.
And when they mixed Hayden's
the 2 voices,
oh my god, that was so good. Now I know that was a copy of a scene in one of the animated series. I don't know if it was. I think it was Clone Wars, right? With Ahsoka. Was it?
I got that. Hold on, I wrote it down.
Anyway, but the Ahsoka and Vader battle where she cuts off half of his mask, and it's a combination of Vader's voice and Anakin. So I did love that, and as I said, look, and I'll get to what I loved in the series, but I agree. Look, I have nothing. What?
Rebels.
Yeah. Oh, it is Rebels. Okay. I had nothing against Leia as a character, and I had nothing against Leia as an actress. There were scenes in her I loved. There were scenes that just annoyed the shit out of me. I just didn't think it was cool that they had the interaction in the beginning. But it didn't need to stretch out the whole series. At least for me, it didn't. I still don't care about Reva though. It's like they want me to feel sorry for space equivalent of a Gestapo officer. Exactly. That's exactly what they wanted, and it just didn't warrant what they wanted us to feel for her. It was great seeing Qui-Gon. I agree. We knew that was going to happen. I'm glad they kept it short, as is the Emperor. But the only thing is, I kind of wish things would have been kind of like gradually sprinkled in. Like we could have seen a hologram of the Emperor sooner.
Yeah, it was all jam packed and just
It was just like, here, well, Qui-Gon's there, Emperor's there. I was just waiting for fucking Yoda to just fall from the sky.
Yeah.
Fall from the sky, I have.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool seeing him, and and it was brief. I thought we would never see him in live action because of all the controversy, but I guess enough time has passed. Yeah, and again, it was literally like a 30-second scene, so it wasn't that bad. I think I'm caught up, right? Oh, no. Sort of a nitpick, but remember when Reva said she hid among the bodies of her friends when Vader stabbed her? I looked at the scene again and saw that only two younglings were with her. But what happened and this was my interpretation, she had to play dead, right? So, and I didn't know this. None of us knew this at that point, but she was actually stabbed. She had to play dead. So when they gathered up the bodies, she was, I guess, basically piled on to other younglings. And that's when she felt their bodies grow cold. So, I mean, bro, the visuals of that did hit me a little bit, but at the same time, again, it was from a character that they really did a poor job of us really caring for her. So how did she hide from Vader and the stormtroopers when they were all there? Pretty sure they could have saw her. I have no idea. Well, no, she hid with the bodies.
Yeah.
She just laid there and played dead.
Yeah, she said she laid there and played dead.
Yeah. She literally just played dead. Never seen Darth's mask cut like that. Yeah, I know. That was a really, really cool scene. Also, Reva chastising Obi-Wan for not being there was ridiculous, and I wish Obi-Wan would have responded. Well, yeah, because he wasn't there, but he also knew that part of him was responsible for what happened. And when I say that is because he was responsible. He felt responsible for Anakin. He felt responsible for the fact that, along with the other Jedi, nobody fucking saw it coming. There were red flags everywhere. And because he loved Anakin and because he felt like he was his brother, he loved him as a brother, he overlooked it. He was clouded by his judgment. The whole Jedi order was clouded by the dark side and whatever. But his feelings for Anakin personally is what clouded his judgment. So, really quick, I still got more. Hold on. Where were you when my friends were being slaughtered? Obi-Wan. Well, sorry, I was fighting an unstoppable cyborg that killed God knows how many Jedi. Obviously, talking about Grievous. And I was fighting for my life when my army attacked me out of fucking nowhere, which is true. No, we knew where he was at that given moment. And I don't think that was the explanation that he needed to give, because it's not that he wasn't there personally, but he knew and he was responsible, sort of. And so excuse me if I didn't make it on time. Yeah. I love the finale too, Jim. I definitely love the finale. I did. 5 and 6 were definitely my favorite episodes, for obvious reasons. But so getting back to the whole sparing of life things, like you said, Obi-Wan was spared in the episode 3 when Vader just let him go through the fire. Reva was spared as a kid, but she played dead, so we'll give her that, but then she was spared when Vader was choking her out. And then she was spared again after a fucking attacking him. Mm-hmm. It just didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So, maybe we would have felt something if she would have been killed, but with purpose. There was no purpose to her story. It was, okay, I take that back. There was purpose, but it was her personal purpose that we weren't informed of. So we didn't know this until the end, and by then we didn't care. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I really feel like they should have just used the Grand Inquisitor in place of her, because that's what he was supposed to be doing. He's the Grand Inquisitor. I didn't like the Inquisitors as a whole, just annoyed the shit out of me. I felt like they shouldn't have been there, or at least limited in their roles respectively.
So here's another thing that just kind of bugged me. They used, what was it, the fifth brother?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was his purpose? Like, he was in and out and then disappears.
He disappeared. The other female Inquisitor disappeared. Like, where did they go?
Yeah.
Especially in the finale.
Yeah, it's just like, wow. Some of these characters that just come in and out just lose character development. Like, what was that's how I felt about a lot of the characters in this show. Like, what was their purpose? Like, why were they there?
I'm trying to do something really quick. Let me see if I can. I don't want to mess my camera up. No, Crayon Dude's asking. I was going to tilt my camera up because I'm just too lazy to get up. Crayon Dude's asking if any one of us have a Vader mask. I do. It's just above that bookshelf behind me. It's all the way on top. I just don't feel like getting up and getting it. Check out the Reva could have been awesome video. I will. I will after this. Did you love the dialogue between Vader and Obi-Wan when he said, "I killed Anakin," and the smirk on his face? Yeah, no, I'm telling you, that scene was very powerful.
I think that was my favorite scene. It was,
Yeah.
and I think that's what kept me engaged.
Yeah, and I'm okay. And I'm okay with Obi, because that's not the Jedi way. The Jedi way, and that's why when Anakin killed Dooku, that wasn't the Jedi way. Mace shouldn't have killed the Emperor, and Anakin knew that. Well, Anakin wanted to keep him alive for selfish reasons, but that's not the Jedi way to kill. So I'm all right with Obi-Wan walking away and leaving Vader for dead again. But I can understand why people are a little ticked off about that. Like, this guy's going to be responsible for how many murders in the galaxy. You have a chance to kill him again.
Yeah.
Finish him. But my other complaint with this episode specifically was when they're in the Star Destroyer, and they're following Obi-Wan. Well, they're following the main ship, and then Obi-Wan breaks off to divert their attention. Bro, you're in a fucking Star Destroyer. There's TIE fighters. There's a whole bunch of fucking shit on there. This Vader ship. Obviously, there's Vader ship because he goes and follows them. Why did they all have to go on one path? Why couldn't they split? Why couldn't you send TIE fighters out to get the other, the rebels or whatever they were called, and with the other Force-sensitive kids, with Leia, the ship that Leia was on, go after them, and then the Star Destroyer go after Obi-Wan, or vice versa. Send Vader. Vader's got his own ship. Prepare my ship and go follow him yourself. I don't know. I just, that really didn't make any sense, because the Grand Inquisitor and Vader, they're there to fucking hunt Jedi. You have a ship that has Force-sensitive people. You have a group of people that know the whereabouts of these other Force-sensitive people that they've been harboring and hiding, right? Why wouldn't you just divert all your time? I understand where Vader's personal vengeance was and why he wanted, no. Obi-Wan's the one I want. I get that in the heat of the moment, but you still have a way to handle both. That's it. For as far as anything else goes negative, the series, there might be more. And that's just being chalked up to writing and other just poor decisions I think they made. But did I miss anything of anything that came up in the finale that you weren't a little crazy about, or anything I didn't touch up on the bad? Because then I want to get into the good.
I mean, I thought it was cute that Obi-Wan gave Leia Tala's little gun holster. Did we kind of need that little?
I did. Apparently, it matched her get up when she got dressed up, and the mom came in and basically said she loved her outfit. It mirrored one of her comic book looks.
I mean, I get it, but
yeah, did we sure.
It was like we get a whole. It seems like we get a whole series, and it was based around Leia, and it's just like, okay, it felt more like the series and as a whole, besides the tidbits that we get of Obi-Wan and Anakin Vader, it felt like kind of like an origin story to a little Leia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was just like, okay, if that's what you were going for, then this was just, we shouldn't have called it Obi-Wan. You know what I mean?
It did. And I agree with you. That's why I said, look, I felt we could have used Leia a little bit better served in small doses, smaller scenes, limiting the amount of episodes she was in. And whatever you want to look again, before the series started, we all thought we were going to see more of young Luke and whatever, because of the character of Obi-Wan, what he was set to do. His mission was to watch the boy, and the show was Obi-Wan. The fact that we got a little window into what Leia was doing as a child is fine with me.
Yeah.
But not for all 6 episodes. and but also too was too repetitive. She got abducted 3 different times. Like it was just, abduction, abduction, saving. So that's what I'm talking about. And then like all the other little nonsense where, with her hiding in the trench coat, which again, it's comical. It's Star Wars. I get whatever. I'm over that part. But yeah, I think they could have just scaled back on it because they missed moments where they could have showed more flashbacks and built up more of the tension between Anakin and Vader. I'm sorry, Vader and Obi-Wan, but also get us back into that moment because they did it so brilliantly and so beautifully with that little mini flashback scene, and then you get the finale. Then that was in part 5, but then you get the finale in part 6 where it's Obi-Wan using all the moves Anakin did in that scene. So it was amazing. But why didn't we get more? And I'm not saying I wanted Vader and Anakin to fight in every episode. Doesn't make any sense. I would have been okay with just one fight. But we could have gotten more flashbacks. We could have gotten more Obi-Wan.
Like
the show's name, Obi-Wan.
The things like we complained about in like Boba Fett, where it's like, can he get out of the back of the tank? Like
exactly.
I love the show of like Anakin in the back of the tank, and we just see foreshadowing or something. You know what I mean? Or Vader in the back.
Like, that would have made, and that also would have made sense if they would have done it the right way. I'm not saying I needed a repeat of Boba in the Bacta, and that's going to fucking give the flashbacks, but give us more. Give us some more of that that conflict.
Right.
Him having pleasant memories. Give us a fucking memory of Padme. Where the fuck was that?
Yes.
Where is his meditation chamber? I want to see him inside his meditation chamber. We saw it in Empire Strikes Back when he gets lifted up. I think it was Empire. Maybe it was A New Hope. Either way, I want to see what he does in that fucking chamber. I always wanted to see it.
Yeah.
In the comics, which I've never read, but I know about this. In the comics, in his meditation chamber, he constantly mourned and thought about Padme, tried to reach out to her. Where is that? Now, I know you only have 6 episodes. But you could have given us a little bit more of that. You could have been giving us a little bit more of what he was going through, as I said, and more of Obi-Wan's pain. You want to shut him down from the Force. That's fine. I get it. Makes sense.
And we saw brief glimpses of that in the beginning, where he's like, taking that job and, where he's at, living in the cave. And we saw brief glimpses of it. And I was like, dude, focus some more on that.
That's why the first episode wasn't bad. I liked the first episode because of that.
Yeah. And I was like, if they focused a little more in on that, like, how did he get there? What is he doing? I was intrigued. I would have been more intrigued. And you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's just, they said, you know what, we're going to do same thing. And it's the same issues I had with Boba Fett, because what they did is they took a character that we all know. I'm not going to say we all love, because I never really cared for Boba Fett when he was in the original series, but original trilogy. But I mean, in my defense, he was literally like a comic relief with the way he died, and he was a side character for most part of the original trilogy. It wasn't only until they did not the reimagining, the special editions where they actually added some more scenes and they gave him some more whatever. But they gave us a character that was completely billed as something completely different. And then they release a show that didn't give us that character at all. And this is sort of what they did here. Sort of. Because they started giving us what we wanted towards the end. And I don't know if they just said, you know what? I can't be budget because it's fucking Disney, right? But it's just like, you know what we'll start it out maybe a little good. The middle one, hit them where it hurts. And then like 4, we're just going to drop off a fucking cliff. And then 5 and 6, we're going to hit it home.
Yeah.
But still sprinkle a little bullshit in there.
Yeah.
But, all right. Because it is Star Wars, and I really don't like hating on anything Star Wars. I don't. But I'm also not going to be, like I said, I'm not going to be a Star Wars apologist and be like, and lick its asshole and say it tastes good. I'm sorry. If something is bad, whether it's Marvel, DC, anything, any movie that I love. When I went to see Top Gun 2, right? If I didn't like that movie, I would have been disappointed. I wouldn't be like, oh no, it's a sequel to one of my favorite movies of the 80s. It's got to be good. No, if it would have been shit, it would have been shit. Mm-hmm. But, all right, we'll start with you now. What are the things you loved about the series, I guess, as a whole? Mm-hmm. Or you can just, or the finale itself?
The series as a whole, I mean, as a whole, it was great. Everything that involved Obi-Wan and Vader together, I thought were amazing. Probably some of the best Star Wars stuff.
This is actually a good question, and I was wondering that myself. Does she have that holster? Because that holster is brownish in color, and I picture us wearing something black. Then again, not in her outfit when she was abducted in A New Hope, which, by the way, I guess they were just trying to set us up for that because she did get abducted in A New Hope. They're like, well, she does like to get kidnapped, so we're going to just show you why. No, but in A New Hope, she didn't have it because she had her like whatever that is, political garb or whatever she was, representative, whatever she was. I mean, I know she's a princess, but you know what I mean. In Empire, I know in Return of the Jedi, she's in the forest gear and slave outfit, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Empire, she was kissing her brother. Oh wait, was that a New Hope, bro?
No, she kissed her brother. Empire. Yeah, she kissed.
It was
brother.
Empire, right? I'm just making sure that I'm not fucking this up because this is that's my favorite.
Empire. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, it's
because that's the one where she was trying to make what's his face jealous, and she pulls him in.
Yeah. No. It's definitely Empire because that's the end scene. So after everything's all said and done, they're on a medical freighter, and they're all planning their rendezvous. Wait a minute, no, can't be Empire because Obi-Wan was in Han Solo was in carbonite. It doesn't matter. I'm almost positive that it was Empire. It just wasn't at the end. Okay. I don't know if she ever has that in the original trilogy and in the sequels. It's a good question. And when Obi-Wan got teary-eyed after looking at defeated Vader, that was moving. It was. I'm not going to lie. I teared up. That's one of the things I loved. And I can't disagree with this either. Ewan acted his ass off. Showing, he didn't even put ass, and I just included that, but I'm pretty sure that that's what he meant. Showing all the emotions he did, even in that scene where he's in pain and he's whatever, because after finding out about Vader being alive, and then it pans and flashes to Anakin in the bacta tank. I loved it.
Yeah,
that was episode 2. It was my favorite part of episode 2. It's how they ended it. But anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think as a whole, I think it was good. As a whole, I think the show was good. I don't think it was great. But because anything that, like I said, anything that had Obi and Vader together was probably some of the best Star Wars stuff I've seen.
You're right.
I'm just going to throw that out there. Parts with, I think Leia's adorable. Parts with her were great. In the beginning, I thought I enjoyed it thoroughly. Then it got old real quick.
It did because it was what do you call it? It was too
it was repetitive.
Repetitive, exactly. Thank you.
It just turned into the same stuff over and over and over. I did towards the end enjoy Reva's character once I found an understanding about her. But then when the last episode happened, I was like, that was the most unnecessary character that this show totally needed. And I felt the same way about Leia, and I felt the same way about Luke. I just thought unnecessary characters.
They were unnecessary, and it's exactly right. And we're talking about Luke Skywalker and what do you call it? And Princess Leia. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we're saying that. So yeah. It's again, nothing against Reva, the actress or whatever. It's just they set up a character that, again, poorly developed. And they try to make us feel for something for her. And then at the end, the payoff was just, that's it.
Yes.
And it's again, it made no sense that she's still alive. Because we never hear about her ever again.
Yeah. I think the show, towards the beginning, I thought the acting was kind of bad. But then I realized it's just a show. And then it got better. I think the characters are great. The writing needs to be worked on.
The writing was not. Yeah, I agree with you. And really quick about Reva, I do want to just add one quick thing. As much as I thought that the payoff was bad, the scene with her kneeling on the ground after realizing she couldn't do it, she couldn't be whatever. The emotional scene that she gave and the interaction between her and Obi-Wan was great.
Yes.
It was the best acting she did all series.
I thought it was great. It
If
showed
we would have had more of that in the beginning, maybe you would have had some sympathy for me.
It was like a full circle moment. I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
No, it was good.
I think that if there is a season 2, they need to really work on the writing, because it felt like they wanted to make the show so much that they just threw something on paper to come up with something. That's how the show felt to me. You know what I mean?
And almost 3 shows in one. Like we all want a Vader series, and I'm hoping that's going to be announced soon. And they sort of given us in this series what Vader series could be like. They gave us an Inquisitor series, Reva and the Inquisitors, and then you had an Obi-Wan and Leia series. So like you had all these characters that were all given equal time when it wasn't needed. So yeah, I agree. That second season has to scale back, and
there was like a buddy. It was like a buddy series, like a.
But
like
what more can they do?
Yeah, I don't know.
Somebody had said, and again, I'm really bad when it comes to fucking new canon and timeline or whatever and shit, whatever. Somebody's saying that Maul can show up, because we know Maul is still alive. Well, not still alive now, but I think he was alive around that time. You know, that could make sense, but I really don't think a season 2 is needed.
Yeah, I don't know, but a lot of people are calling on it. I don't know why, but
you can't have Vader in it because there's not going to be, unless, I mean, you could have Vader in it, but he wouldn't be anything to do with Obi-Wan, because I think the interaction between him and Obi-Wan are done. Mm-hmm. I would at least think, because they're clashing A New Hope.
Well, this is kind of what I felt, and I don't know, take it what you will from this, and maybe I'm just blowing smoke up my own butt, but when he, was dropped Leia off or met with Leia, he did say, if you ever need help, give me a call. To me, that left it very open-ended. Are they going to do another buddy cop with Obi-Wan and Leia show?
You can't, because again, it would make absolutely no sense, because like,
and he did say we have to keep it a secret, so it left it very open-ended to me. Like they could just break canon again and just do this stupid series. You know what I mean?
I don't think. So, I wouldn't want that.
I don't know. So it's just, but again, as a whole, I thought the show was good. Was it great? No. Did it have exceptional moments? Absolutely. I would probably give it an 8.
Ooh, really? Okay. You know what could be cool though? We could you could focus on Bail. You could focus on Bail Organa if you wanted to do something with Leia, right? And you want to utilize that character a little bit more. Obviously, not that actress now. You got to age her up, right? Do something with Leia, and I'm not saying this is needed or anything like that, but it'd be really cool. The perspective of Alderaan getting blown up, because what's about, their fate. I mean, pretty much same thing with Rogue One, I guess, right? But their fate, but you sort of have some not emotional attachment to Bail Organa, but Bail Organa, Jimmy Smith's character in Bail Organa has been around since the prequels, and seeing a character like that and whatever, and that's only if you want to do something with Leia and maybe even Obi-Wan, it would make more sense for Bail to call on Obi-Wan again rather than Leia, because again, I just think you need to cut out the interaction. Let him interact with Luke, because he obviously had some interaction with Luke because Luke knew of him, But yeah, I don't think we need a season 2. I'm holding out for a Vader series. You got Andor coming up again in August? I think, right? Andor's coming up soon. Ahsoka. Obviously, Mando's coming out next year. We have enough series so far, but I wouldn't mind seeing Vader pop up. Yeah. You didn't miss much. Now we're just going over the things that we enjoyed. Okay, so what else did you enjoy?
Yeah, that's what I enjoyed. And
you gave it. It's actually a high overall. An 8?
Overall, I gave it an 8. I think I rated it higher than Boba, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't even remember what I rated Boba, but now I'm a little nervous because I definitely like this series more than Boba. But I don't know if I can give it an 8. I was thinking more 6, but like I said, I don't know what I gave Boba Fett. Fuck. Did we even give Boba Fett a rating?
I think I did. I think I gave it like a 6.5.
Shit, I probably gave it around the same. All right, so you know what I'll do? I'll give Obi-Wan a 7. I'll give it a 7. I really do think it's 6. You know what? No, fuck it. I'm giving Boba a 4. That's it. I'll give Boba a 5. I don't even know why we're talking about Boba Fett.
I give it an 8 because again, I rate it that high because
I'll give it a 6.5.
You have these scenes that are probably some of the best Star Wars I've ever seen. So
Not going to disagree with you. I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm still going to give it a 6.5 because I thought the writing could have been better. I was expecting amazing things from Deborah Chow, especially from her work on.
What I think is so disappointing.
It hurts. It does. That's what's disappointing even more so. If it wasn't Deborah Chow, I'd probably give it a little bit higher. But we know what she can do.
Right.
And I'm not. And the other thing is too, guys, and I don't know if anybody is going to watch this later on and stay for the entirety of this 41 minute long show. But I'm not over here Disney bashing and saying, oh, the new Star Wars is shit or whatever, because Mandalorian's great. They know what they're doing in The Mandalorian. Do we get filler episodes? Yeah. You're going to get filler episodes for any show. Any show's going to have filler episodes. You just can't do a filler episode in a 6-episode series. You can't do it. Yeah. You can't veer off of your character in a 6-episode series. That's what Boba did. They did it for 2 episodes where the fucking character wasn't in the show. So look, you're going to have fillers in any sitcom. Well, I guess sitcom really doesn't need fillers. But you know what I mean. Any show that we really watch on television, except for The Boys. I don't really think The Boys has had a filler yet.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
And that's how you do. And that's how you do.
Yes.
That's how you do TV.
Yeah.
But even fucking Miss Marvel's doing good. I think I enjoy Miss Marvel. First 3 episodes of Miss Marvel than I did the first 3 episodes of not counting obviously episode 3 of Obi-Wan. And that's saying a lot. I mean, these are characters that I love. I want to Mystery because I'm absolutely loving it. And I've watched every season, so I'm caught up. I just watched the latest episode 6. I just feel like at this point, what do we do? We wait for all 8 to drop and rate the series.
I think we should wait for all 8 to drop.
All right, maybe we'll do that. Because also, with Stranger Things, I guess we can just wait for the final 2 episodes too. No sense of
I'm about to send Netflix my therapy bill on that one.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe Mystery. Yeah, maybe we will do one. Well, we'll just wait for because there's only 2 more episodes left of the season anyway. But look, there are good things that are coming from Disney and the new generation of Star Wars. I'll even argue that there were things that I absolutely love from the sequel trilogy. Again, I've said this so many times. Without the sequel trilogy, there'd be no Kylo Ren and other actors and actresses that portrayed their roles in those characters that I absolutely loved. I gave shit about Rey, but still think Daisy Ridley did a great job. Finn, Poe, like all these other characters, like I wouldn't mind seeing again. Just the writing needed to be a little bit better. That's all. But as far as now, we're talking about now and the shows that are coming out now, Mandalorian is killing it.
Yeah.
So, so far it's superior to the comics, and I rarely ever say such a thing. A lot of people are saying that. Now, I have never read, is anybody really surprised? I've never really read the comics. I didn't know anything about The Boys until the show on Amazon. So, but a lot of people are saying that this series, the writing and whatever they're doing on the show, I see it, but I have nothing to compare it to, I'd love to see Finn again. The character was heavily disrespected in the series. They all were. And that's the thing. Even Kylo Ren, who was brought into the forefront, one of the main characters, right? I thought his arc was fucking horrible. Like, what? All right, yeah, you became Ben Solo, but it was literally the whole...
But still, how do you just still love Kylo Ren?
They slapped everyone in the face, including Finn. They let us all believe that he was going to be something. Oh, he's going to be force sensitive. And then you drop a little one-line hint in The Rise of Skywalker only for him to never bring it up again. Mm-hmm. It's just whatever. And don't get me started on the legacy characters of, Luke and Leia and Han and whatever. But anyway, So yes, everything you said pretty much is exactly how I feel when it came to the scenes with Vader and Obi-Wan. That finale, the fight. Um, I don't know if I needed Obi-Wan to be so godlike because he was showing power I've never seen before. So, and look, I knew he was going to best Vader. So that was never going to be the question. And I also knew, and we were all hoping for, Vader's mask to be cut in half. We knew that was coming, you know? So I knew we were going to get, to some degree, the Obi-Wan Kenobi that we all knew. Like, his strength was going to come back. I was just surprised to see it that fucking OP. I mean, it was like a fucking video game. But it was good. It was cool. No, the rock tossing was great. And that was another thing, too, that I faulted the sequels, that they didn't use it enough, especially the Last Jedi more so. Because they did use it in The Force Awakens, and JJ brought it back in The Rise of Skywalker. Was the use of the Force. They didn't fucking use it almost at all, with the exception of him twirling the lightsaber to kill Snoke. That was it. You know, when there are fights going on, it's not just lightsabering. It's also using the elements that are around you. And I absolutely love that Vader did that to kick Obi-Wan's feet off of him from underneath him with the rock. And then you see Vader just fucking pummeling him with the boulders. And then Obi-Wan coming back with his. So, no, every scene that we had was great. And to see that side of Vader again, which when they said that we were going to get something that we've never seen, even more so than the Rogue One scene, I knew exactly what they meant and what I wanted. And we got it for the most part. We got that raw power. We got that pulling the spaceship down, you know, albeit really bad graphics and CGI, but still we got to see that, you know, and him just snapping people's necks. I mean, it was fucking brilliant. It was great. I just wanted more of that. 6 episodes of him just snapping necks. And then Obi-Wan be like, Anakin, I'm here for democracy. Whatever. I don't even know the exact quote, but you know what I mean. My allegiance is to the, what does he say? To the Republic, to democracy. That's all you get. Vader going crack, and then that one line over and over again.
In a loop.
And I was also, and I get it, maybe it would have just felt out of place. I know a lot of people were thinking this too. I thought it would have been cool because the roles were reversed when he had Obi-Wan in the hole and Vader had the high ground. Why couldn't he? He could have said, I know people said, well, it would have sounded stupid if he would have said that, you know, but like I would have, he could have said that. I would, because that's how Anakin was. Like he could have been cocky, would have been like, look, now I had the high ground. Mm-hmm. But I thought that was a missed opportunity there. But all right, really quick, one more comment. I think we're the whole mass thing is yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, you're right. It is. Because that we had said that earlier. The scene in Rebels, and it was, but it was done brilliantly. And like I said, what got me even more so with Ewan's performance and tearing up and telling him, I'm sorry, I failed you. It was Anakin when he started talking. He's like, you didn't kill Anakin, I did. And just seeing his face like that, and when it kept going in and out between his voice and Vader's, oh, I'm telling you, without that one scene, I would have lowered the series rating. I would have given it a 2. No, but so good, it really was, and it just shows you what we could have gotten even more so, you know. And again, I'm not saying I needed that in every episode, but I wanted that torture. I wanted that conflict, because even though we all can agree that at that point in Vader's, because it's 10 years removed from Revenge of the Sith, he is far gone. 100% far gone in the dark side. Anakin ceased to exist at that point because of how strong he is in the Force, or I guess in the dark side, and how much rage he has. But now, for the first time in 10 years, you're pitted face to face, or at least the presence, you feel the presence of your former brother, your former master, your former friend. Where's the conflict? that was it. That's what I wanted to see. I want to see more of that,
Yeah.
and Obi-Wan and how he handled his. But again, 5 and 6, awesome finale, great, loved it, and I just don't know if I need a season 2.
Yeah.
Just give us other series. That's it. Well, look, again, we have so much coming out. Again, I don't really care about Andor, but I'm going to watch it anyway. And watch, Andor will probably be a show that we fucking love. Watch, because none of us won't even care about it. But that's probably going to be the one that's amazing.
Ooh.
What happened?
What happened?
We just got booted.
That was weird.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan's first words against Vader in A New Hope make a lot more sense now after the finale. Yeah, it does. It does. Look, they did certain things to try to keep continuity or even add a little bit more weight, or try to tie things up. But again, some things they got a little dangerous with especially with Leia and whatever. Yeah, internet goblins are at it again. But we are at almost an hour, so I do want to cut this.
It's like, shut up now.
Shut up now, exactly. That's what they were saying. They're like, all right, that's it, time up. You're over. But yeah, so soon, maybe we'll do The Boys. Well, we're not going to do The Boys. You know what I mean? Maybe Ms. Marvel. I've been saying that for 3 weeks now. But maybe it's getting good. It's getting good. But yeah, Kitty, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. I had fun, and I couldn't wait to talk about this because, again, needed to be talked about. It was bothering me. But I do want to thank Crayon Dude, Mr. E, Listener Jim. I want to make sure I didn't forget anybody. I think that's it. That's pretty much it. It's the usual suspects. Thank you guys for commenting. Don't forget to hit the like button. You guys are already subscribed, so you don't need to hear it. But people that are watching this after the fact, if you're not subscribed, just do it. Because guess what? And I keep forgetting. If you're watching this from your phone, look at the bottom right-hand corner of your phone. Guess it says subscribe. Just hit it. That's all you got to do. If you're watching it on your TV, just got a manual to do it. That's all. That's it. It's free. It's free. I mean, if you want a tip, that's great. You know, I mean, there's really no way to tip anyway, but maybe I'll start putting my Cash App in there. No, I'm only kidding. Sort of. We'll see what happens. But all right, guys, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We will see you guys soon. If we don't see you before the 4th of July, guys, enjoy your holiday weekend next weekend. Kitty, I'll talk to you obviously soon. And guys, enjoy your night and day.